Hey there, Richard. How you doing?
Hey, Michael, I'm doing pretty good. I tell you what, that's the longest 5 minutes in broadcasting ever. I'm
It
sitting
totally
here,
is.
I'm sitting here, my feet are bouncing. I'm getting that little butterfly. Reminds me, it's kind of like when you were in Little League, right? And you're getting up to the plate, and you've got those butterflies going. You're real nervous, and all of a sudden, the umpire looks at you and says, "You got to wait 5 minutes before he throws that first pitch." So,
Uh,
hey, welcome to the show, everybody. It's another Onshape release day. I'm Richard Doyle, the user group guy, alongside Mike, the professor, and we are here to talk about the latest release, 1.156.
yeah. Bunch of nice pleasers in this release for people that are making advanced shapes. Lots of cool fillet things. Some reorganization of what the kind of Onshape documents page looks like, and a number of drawings improvements, which you
Yep.
always love,
Yep,
right?
I love those drawing improvements. We got some mobile improvements, and of course, as always, updates to the Learning Center as well.
Yeah,
And the comments have been quite good today. Looking through the forums.
yeah.
Of course,
We
we
do
have
have
a
to give
yep.
props to the deploy team, to the DevOps team. They are amazing, right? So
Yep.
they
I
it's a
went to bed.
process.
Yep.
It's fun.
I went to bed late last night. I woke up early this morning, and by golly, there was the update. So
Yeah,
kudos to the team.
absolutely. Yeah, lots of good comments on the forum posts so far, though. Definitely lots of good stuff.
Yep, and we've got some of our regulars are here with us today. Welcome Sebastian from Germany, of course John McClary, who joins us quite often, and Lewis from Kenya. Super excited, waiting for this session. Well, Lewis, we're super excited to have you here. So thanks for joining us,
Absolutely,
everybody.
absolutely. And you know who else we have here? We actually have a special guest today.
Oh yeah.
We have Mehul Gala, who's been on the show before. Hey, why don't you just jump on in, Mehul? Hey, how you doing? Welcome back.
Hey guys, how are you doing? Honored to be here again. Honored to work on this what's new as well. As a customer, I was telling someone just earlier today, I used to get so excited when that little gift emoji would show up on Onshape, and I would just jump out of my seat, run to the first person I saw that was a CAD user, and then we would talk about how we would, or I would talk about how we're going to use this feature or whatever feature I thought was super cool, and they would entertain my my happiness and then tell me to get back to work.
And years ago, Mayhul, I was in the same situation that you were, albeit with a different software. And we could only get excited once a year, And now with Onshape, here we are. We get excited every 3 weeks. We have this live broadcast. People join us here.
Yeah, definitely like and
Yeah.
subscribe to this thing, because that way you'll get the notices immediately if you're in YouTube or wherever you're watching. Most people are watching on YouTube, I think, but people are watching on LinkedIn and things like that. So whatever you do, subscribe to each of those things, and you'll get notices. And we try to do the show, like we were joking in the last podcast with John Herstick, who was on podcast we just pushed last week. Definitely check that out in the various media platforms that you follow. But he was joking that we could like do the what's new update like middle of the night if we wanted to, as soon as that thing hits. But like, I was actually asleep. I was taking a nap. The push hit as well. So weren't able to do that. But we have a good number of attendees today. I'm really happy to see this amount of people on.
And Maj just joined us. He says, "Good evening, excellent software." We can't disagree with that at all, can we?
No, not at all. Thanks much. So let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's take a look.
We have Mehul for a few minutes before he has to hop off to another meeting. So let's get Mehul's thoughts on a couple of things, and then we'll keep on going once you leave. So let's present, if I can find the button. All right, here we go. As long as I share the right screen, I'll be in good shape. All right, Here we go. On a live stream, you got to be careful with that stuff. All right. So first things, let's just go right into the forum post first. You can access it right here. My favorites that I was able to select here. I thought the filleting improvements were really top notch. These are pretty powerful fillet improvements that were added to the release here, Mehul. I mean, these are asymmetric fillet. That's not easy. Partial edge fillet. That's a new interesting thing to do. So let's take a look at it. Actually, I'm gonna mute Lindsay here. Lindsay actually made this video. So Lindsay Early, you've probably seen her on various YouTube videos, tips, tricks, things like that. You'll see Lindsay quite often. So, but here,
Lindsay she also presents regularly at the Women Who CAD user group.
That's right.
By the way, just a quick thought, they'll be meeting in January. Date has not been determined yet, but we will be having a meeting of the Women Who CAD in January. So,
excellent. Yeah, it's one of the best user groups. I think it's a lot of good content, and it's always a good session. All right, so here we are. We can see the fillet tool has some new buttons. All right, so let's take a look at this. Right, we have we have asymmetric, and we have partial fillet right here. So I like the way we did this, Mehul, because like it's not like we created separate fillet commands for all of these things. It's just like we have this nice fillet Swiss Army knife, and now we have 2 more tools in the Swiss Army knife, essentially.
Yeah, I love it. It's pretty intuitive as well, and I think there's the UX is nice, and it flows nicely into your regular workflows.
Exactly. So, just simply picking an edge right here and then choosing the asymmetric option, it gives you, obviously your first radius was the big size here, the 12 radius. And then we have the second radius is, going to be the smaller or bigger value for the second radius. And you can just swap between the two if you don't like that. And then you can push and pull with the arrow, as well, I think. So. But yeah, it's pretty easy to go ahead and get that nice preview. Of course, you have the final button where you can play and see that thing back and forth. So, very simple thing. It was made simple enough where you didn't need instructions. Essentially, that's always the goal, right? So, nice. So we got some people loving the asymmetric.
Yep, another comment from the forums there.
Awesome. Yeah, +1 fillets from LinkedIn here as well. So fillets, I mean, you think about it, it's probably if we ran a report, we could probably run a report. We could ask somebody to run a report on like the most popular features in all of Onshape, and fillets are probably going to be in the top 5 of all features, right? If you really think about it. So the more you can improve the fillet experience, that helps the most people. So this one is interesting as well. Fillet feature now allows you to control how much of the edge is included. And this would require, lots of like manual CAD work to do if you didn't have this option, essentially, right?
This was the one that jumped out at me at first. And I, right off the top of my head, couldn't come up with an actual application for it. But I went in and tried this, and it just works so smoothly and so nicely that, by golly, I'm going to find an application for it.
Well, manufacturing methods are different now. Like, back in the 80s, if you were doing this on a 2.5 axis CNC machine or something, this would be pretty hard. But we have all sorts of different ways of making things now.
That's true.
With additive and specialized tooling and things like that. This is actually pretty easy to manufacture now.
And I guess this is where I'd give a shout out to the forums. So I think there's a lot of people jumping out of their seats and trying to run to somebody to explain what they like here. And then I think there's some folks that are like, well, how am I going to use that? And I love the discussion in the forums. Like, this is how I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it to transition to another shape for that edge. So I think it's nice to see folks in the forums. And I guess I'm getting a lot of, I get all the emails now because I did the forum posts, and I get to kind of keep track of all that. And it's nice to see the community there kind of explaining to each other how they're going to take advantage of some of this new stuff, this new functionality inside of Onshape. So
yeah,
there's some folks in there as well explaining their use case for this.
And Maxfield, I gotta give a shout out to my buddy Maxfield here. One time Onshaper here, and the coffee grinder demo is always a fun demo, and I can't wait to throw some crazy fillets on that coffee grinder, Ethan. That's for sure.
Hey, just want to mention that I did not watch the video on this partial fillet. I went over and immediately tried it first, so I didn't get the I didn't get that you can actually drag that arrow from both sides. That is just brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. We got three arrows here. One to beginning and end, and then the actual radius value.
Yep,
It looks like.
yep. That's genius.
Yeah, yeah. So very, very cool that you can do this kind of stuff. There's probably a lot of mechanical reasons for having things like this. It's just easy to use though. So people asked for it. So yeah, that's why it's
there.
here.
It is. There it is.
All right. What else do we have? Mayel, you created this video. Let's have you kind of do the narration of this one. What are we looking at here? What's the improvement?
All right. So previously, when you made a section view, you'd have that section view. But if you wanted to add another plane to the section view, you'd have to disable the other sections. Now you can just double click that face, or you can click that face or double click that face that's already sectioned, and enter that section dialog and add those sections immediately. So you don't have to remove your existing sections to get new sections. So it's a nice workflow.
Okay. I see. Yeah. So let's see what happens here. So you got a section, you've created a plane. Now you're rotating around. Yeah. It's just the flow is better. Yeah. You're completely right. And now you just pick that right there. Now you didn't lose any of the other stuff. Yeah. This is good.
Which is powerful. So that's a nice workflow. It's a nice way to really enter some of these big assemblies and see what's going on.
Yeah. Let's just do it here. So section view. I only have a part studio where that was a silly one. Yeah. Let's go into this pulse oximeter here.
So you can also enter that dialog by clicking the view cube and then hitting edit section. So there's a couple ways to get into this. Oh, that's a cool model.
So you click the view cube, you're saying?
Yeah, and then edit section.
If
you have the section already there.
Yeah, let's make one first.
Yeah, make one first.
Yeah. So we're gonna got a section plane right here. Cut through here, see what's going on. And now if I were to edit the section view, I have that right here, and I can rotate it a little bit more to see.
So additionally, you can click that already sectioned area. So if you close that dialog box, you can click that section area and enter that dialog again.
Okay.
Whoa.
And you double click it. Yeah, double click
it.
Gets it, and then single click just edits. Yeah, like that. So that's single click. That's double click, and then I can go in and say I want to exclude the rubber piece here or whatever.
Or you can add a plane too. So.
And then you can add more planes, right?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Yeah, there we are. That's awesome. Yeah, makes it really easy. And for the win, let's make this a named view. Clear all that out. Look at this from some other weird angle, perspective, something like that. And then we'll go to the named views here. Oh, yeah. Here we go. There we go. So that thing gets remembered with the name views too. So that's an excellent. This works. It works all the way.
John McClary likes it.
Cool. So yeah, that was excellent, Mayhole. I think this is I'm now a big fan of this now. Now that I fully understand what this is doing, it's really great. Then one other thing that we added too was we improved the original a couple of releases ago. Like you could reconnect automatically if you lost your connection, but now if it times out for longer, you can have a button here to kind of just reconnect, right? So if you lost your internet connection for whatever, you unplug from your dock, you walk over somewhere, you don't have your internet connection because you swapped from Ethernet to Wi-Fi or whatever. These are just things that will help you from having to refresh the browser to get your model back, which saves you a few seconds here and there. It adds up, right? So you get everything set up exactly right for the meeting that you're walking into. You take it off your dock, and then bam, you have to reset. So now you don't. It's just a much easier way of getting back and set up. Mail, did you have to go around now?
I do actually, and I love this one. You know, you can come back from lunch and get right back to work
During a
without.
period of inactivity.
There we are. That was
Yeah,
Roy.
yeah. I love this one. Yeah, I do have to leave, but I just wanted to give a little shout out to this one because it's nice. You know, when you come back from lunch, you don't have to have that expensive refresh. You know, you just get back to work after lunch, like everybody does.
Exactly.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I have another meeting to run to, but this was an honor and a privilege to work on this with you guys.
Yep.
Thanks, Mihal, for joining us.
Great to have you, Mihal. Thank you.
Bye
All
bye.
right, see you around. All right, it's always good to have the author of the videos, you know, on the show, get their thoughts, because you know they're the first people to, you know, go through it and think about use cases and how to, you know, how to present it to the rest of the community. So it's a fun job we have. That, you know, every release, every 3 weeks we do this, and there's different people that are involved with it. We rotate through on that, so it's a lot of fun.
So I got a kick out of this one because, you know, when I was going through the forums and I was looking at the changes here, I see that they've named their companies TS EMEA and TS EMEA Other.
Technical service EMEA, technical services EMEA Other.
You know, which is fine. But when I launched Onshape this morning, mine came up Doyle's Tiny Houses.
See, that just gives you a nice warm feeling.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, it's this is actually a really important change. What we're seeing here, you know, you'll remember in previous iterations of Onshape that icon at the top would say My Onshape.
Yep.
And you know, it's kind of like, you know, it was fine when we did that back in 2015, right? You know, we didn't have professional companies yet. You know, these were things that weren't in the package yet. So having everything under this like My Onshape bin, if you will, was totally fine. But now we have this really nice hybrid, you know, kind of system, right? You know, that you can be a member of multiple companies. You know, let's say you're a contractor, Richard, right? And you do design work for different companies, right? You know, you do design work for a consumer product design company, maybe a food product design company, maybe a machine design company. You want to organize your data in such a way that it is segmented by customer. I mean, that's how I did my C:\file management back in the day. You know, you would
absolutely
organize things by customer, right?
Yep.
Now, you don't have to manually do that in Onshape because all the sharing and permissions kind of handle that sharing, but it was kind of hidden to the end user. You could share by team, but you know, this actually shows you every single company that you have data related to. So you as the contractor, Richard, you would be able to click in the one company and see all the data related to one company, click on another company and see all the data related that you were shared into, of course, into that company. This is almost like a mesh PDM, you know, if you think about it, right? Because the rules of each company will still apply. Right. You know, if you have release workflows at the top company that are different than the second company, those rules will still be observed, even though you're all still logged in as the same like user, you know, with your email address.
Right.
In other PDM systems, you would have to log in and log out of those systems if you could even get access to them. Right. You know, how often do you actually have access to the PDM system of the OEM company that you're doing work for?
Right. Probably not very often.
Not very often. You have to punch holes through the VPNs and all these things. It just doesn't work. Then you have to make sure you have the exact right version of PDM and the right version of CAD. And that means you're going to have to manage 3 or 4 installs of CAD System X, SolidWorks, whatever it might be. Right. Yeah. I know because I've been there and I've installed these setups for consultants and things because they wanted to have PDM and data control, but it was a hell of a lot of work.
Sure.
Right. And now, like, this has been in Onshape forever, but it's just much more visible now.
Yep. And, you know, and I hate to have to admit this, but I'm one of those person when I create a document, I hit create and then go. I don't bother with the pull downs. You know, I might add a description, but I skip that pull down. And I belong to 3 different companies in my Onshape account. I can't tell you how many times I've created a new document in the wrong company. Having this right on the main page gives me that visual indication. Oh, wait, look, I want to be working in Doyle's Tiny Houses today. Click on that. Now, when I hit that create button, it automatically creates it in the right company. So, for me, it's a way to it solves some of my laziness. So,
hey, I mean, if you can get things done more efficiently, you're going to make less mistakes.
Exactly.
So.
Yep.
So this is what it looks like now. This is what it would look like if you were on a standard account, right? If you had Onshape standard, you would see owned by me, right? Because there is no concept of a company in Onshape standard, right? So that would be what you'd see here. You could click owned by me and see those documents. And by the way, searching and everything works, in the context of each company as well. So you can see there's 3 companies here. And, right now Onshape, the company is highlighted in the search box up here at the top, also says search in Onshape.
Yep.
But if you clicked into one of the other ones, it would search in just that company. So this is also an awesome thing to see. And as you click through them, you're going to see just the documents that belong just to that company. It's such a game changer when it comes to looking at your data. And of course, this is this is a company environment right here, Midwest Machine Tech. And we're seeing, just these items right here. I believe this is an enterprise. Yes. So that's why you only see one company. So if you're an Onshape enterprise company, you only log in and out as one company. But if you're an Onshape professional user, you'll actually be able to see them all together.
Right. Yep.
You can still be members of multiple enterprises, by the way. But the way enterprise is set up is it's like a walled garden, and you want to, it's like, you only want to see the things that you sign in with, and it might be single sign-on requirements, and that's the reason, right? Sure. That you need to have a bit more lockdown on that. So this is a big one, and it really reveals to everybody, how Onshape is really this matrix kind of PDM, kind of mesh PDM, if you will. Got some drawing things for you, Richard.
Yep, I love drawing changes and updates, and
having a sheet number column is
all right. That was me. Cool. So, I don't know if you knew this, but Onshape lets you export inspection reports automatically.
I did not know that, Michael. Tell me more.
So, did you know that you can actually put inspection bubbles on each dimension in your drawing? You can see the buttons at the top of the screen. There's a little magnifying glass with a check mark and a little eye. You can put inspection bubbles for doing your, you're out in
incoming inspection. Yep.
Inspection, incoming inspection, right? And you create the special QA drawing that has the bubbles on them, right? And you also want to get a report out of the dimensions in an Excel or spreadsheet kind of way, right?
Sure. So the inspector can check them off as he goes down.
Right. So if you export a drawing, not only do you have PDF and DXF and all that stuff for the options for export, you also have inspection list as an option.
Nice.
And that will let you download or do any of the other options that Onshape allows, but it will give you a CSV file, essentially, right here.
Which you can call up in Google Sheets, right?
Yep. Here, Google Sheets, Excel, wherever you want to do it. And it automatically created this, and it just pulled out which dimension, which dimension was associated with a bubble, the units, and then the actual dimension with the plus or minus tolerance and the type of annotation it was. New in this update, because we've had this a little while now, new is the ability to see which sheet of the drawing. If you had a multi-sheet drawing, you would see, which sheet it was coming from, of course, which is important.
That makes it easier on the inspector.
Yeah. And people have done some really cool things. Yep. With this, you can create a macro in Excel or something that would format this sheet exactly the way you want. That's a thing I've seen people doing. So it will match their AS9102 inspection requirements or whatever, PPAP or whatever quality system you're using as a company. You'd be able to do that. So.
Very nice.
Yeah. Question from John. Enterprise can change the Onshape logo on the top corner, but yeah, that is correct. So, you saw that in the previous video there, John. So yeah, if you have an enterprise, you get to set your logo. You actually get your own vanity URL. Like if you're at like, mine is like, I have a fake company called ShapePath. So I call it shapepath.onshape.com, right? And then I can put my ShapePath logo in the corner. That's an advantage you get with the enterprise system. What else we got for drawings?
There we go. This was the second thing I tried today, just to make sure it worked like I expected. And of course it does. Absolutely. Just the ability to resize those quickly and easily, just with drag points. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, totally. It's you have a dimension there or center mark, you just drag it. It just works. And these are the ones, they get automatically added now when you do it. Oh, look, he's showing a nice shift key to help you kind of match up with other relations there. So that was pretty cool. Real so nice. Now, that makes it way easier to make a drawing view like that.
Yep. And we know how everybody loves to create beautiful drawings.
That's right. It's an art form. More drawing stuff. Wow.
Yep. The style panel just keeps getting, moved to more and more of the little functionality here. And now we have it for flag notes. So
yeah, more style.
Arrowhead, change your sizes. Yep. Change the colors. And to the developers, keep adding stuff. Keep adding in there.
Yeah, it's really nice being able to just select the items you want, set the item. Sometimes these are like, you want to call attention to something special on the drawing. This is a great way of doing it.
Yep. Sebastian, we're kindred spirits. I love the drawing updates as well.
The mobile improvements are also coming fast and furious. So, for Android and iOS.
Yep. The people that, we had the external threads that was in the last release, right?
Yeah. Last release. And now it's supported on mobile.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So best option available right there. Just select it and go. Same thing with publications now. Yep. So both on Android and iOS, you have the ability to add publication notes in markdown format, meaning you can type in things relating to the document. Like if this was a quote that we're sending out to a supplier, you would probably type in, what you were looking for in here. Of course, no update would be complete without Learning Center updates. The Learning team is hard at work building great courseware for the millions of Onshape users, right? So,
if you're a beginner Onshape user or you're just looking at the free plan, I highly recommend going through the Learning Center before you really even get started. It was invaluable to me. I had 20 years experience with 3D CAD, but going through the Learning Center really got me up to speed and maybe more proficient in Onshape quickly. So don't discount the ability to go back and look at those videos again when you forget what you were taught just a couple hours earlier. So
bunch of stuff in the forum posts for the people that do look for the deep things as well. There are actually a number of things we didn't make videos on, just because they're not like video worthy, but I think this one's a really good one right here. A global permission to create tasks if you're an enterprise, just in case you didn't know, like you can create tasks in the system, right? If I go into where the heck would I do that? Let's see. It's under here. Where is it? There it is. Action items. So if you're on a pro account, you can find action items right here. I think even on a standard account. And then if you're in an enterprise, it's like a big button at the top of the screen to find essentially this. But you can create these tasks and assign them to people. Instead of like 3M Post-it notes and stuff, I can say, this is a task which needs the supplier involved. I've customized this. And I'm going to say new motor needed grinder. I can assign that to somebody, right? And I can even assign models that it's associated with, right? So if I go into find something here, I don't think I have my coffee grinder in this account. My goodness. Anyway, just here. No, I didn't want that. I want spray not. Oh, maybe not. Hold on, I'll find something.
Yeah, find something good. We got all day.
All right, we'll do the cloud IoT device here. I have an assembly All right, so you can assign different things, create tasks. Actually, you can click it open and see it, view the task. You can even set due dates on things like this, priority, comments can be added, right? So all that can be managed in the Onshape system. And if you have a large enterprise with thousands of users, maybe you don't want everybody having that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we improved in this release, was being able to go into the enterprise company settings and set that as a role or a permission, I should say, in the system to keep that to a certain group of users.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I thought that was a good one. There's always like performance things that we're doing all the time as well, and some of the performance things show up in the release notes. It's kind of hard to demo because it's not such a moving target, but
Sure.
But there's always performance improvements in every single Onshape from what I can tell. It's always a project that we're working on. So sometimes you'll see this in the list as well, that we added some specific performance improvements, like improve pan and zoom performance for larger data sets and drawings. If you had a big drawing with lots of stuff on it, right, it'll perform better, right? So,
and I get a kick out of some of our customers dig really deep into the change log, and then they'll come back to the forums to let everybody know what they found. So we appreciate that. Yep.
Really do. Yeah, it's a special group of people we have that are on Onshape.
Yep.
Well, it's great. It's great. So yeah, there's lots of good stuff in this update, and I couldn't be more pleased with how it went.
Yeah. I mean, there's some great stuff there. Like I say, I got really excited and tried out a couple of things first thing this morning. It just works like Onshape always works,
Let's see, is there a way to set all options in drawing and save all the option sets and do a blanket apply? There is sort of a way of doing this, Patrick, actually. Let me just do something here since we have an extra minute. Let's find something with a drawing. And I think I have a good looking drawing of this pulse oximeter. Let's go to a detail drawing. All right. So yeah, I got everything the way I wanted. I got like my center lines are in yellow. I got, different font settings.
You'll want to show it though.
Oh, damn. All right. Here we are. We have a drawing. It's a good looking drawing, right? Nice artistic looking drawing, right? Yep. I'm very proud of the drawings I made. So, I have the yellow center lines. I have like this light gray kind of font set for the dimensions that look like an H2 pencil or something like that. I have the way everything looks the way I want, right? And you can export a DWT file, right? That's a drawing template file. Okay. And I'll just call this settings. Let's see if this works. I mean, I'm going out on a limb here. Now, I'll open up just a completely different drawing. Going to create a drawing of this. We'll stick it on some other format. Not ISO. Let's just do this one. And we'll put a center line in it just to show that it's not going to be a yellow one. And we'll put a dimension on it, showing that it's not that nice graphite color. But if we go over here to the settings, under drawing properties, under the format, see this thing right here, update properties from a template way down here?
Whoa!
I can go in to my recently opened documents. I just got to create a version in that other document where I exported the DWT. Oh, actually, you know what? I didn't. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's in the document. There it is. See? It just updated it with the grayish color. And, my drawing format even updated with thicker, bolder lines. Right?
Wow.
So hopefully,
I'm blown away. I'm just absolutely blown away. I had no idea that this could. Patrick, I think that probably answers your questions. Holy cow!
I keep hitting John's messages. Oh, hey, Eduardo. All right, thanks, Patrick. Appreciate the
perfect and awesome. Onshape ME says awesome. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm speechless. I'm just speechless. I cannot wait to show this at a user group meeting because
There you go.
I can't be the only one that didn't know this. Of course, I'm probably the only Onshape employee that didn't know it, but
I don't know about that. I don't know. I hadn't tried it before, so I'm glad it worked. I'm glad I didn't stick my foot in my mouth or I had to eat my hat or anything.
it worked brilliantly.
I do that
was just
sometimes.
awesome.
Sometimes I say things I wish were there, and
Yeah, Sebastian knew all about it. He says he uses that one a lot. Yep.
awesome. Good job.
Yep.
Good job.
All right. Good stuff, LinkedIn user.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great update, huh?
Yeah, totally. I mean, and guess what? 3 weeks from now, we're going to be back.
That's right.
We're
That's right.
going to be just as amazed with what's released there too.
Yep. In the meantime, though, check out our latest podcast. We got to interview Onshape founder John Hirschtick, the first time that he's appeared on the Innovators Insider podcast. We've got some great episodes coming up. We're going to be talking about variables, and we might be doing some sustainability. Just some great stuff in the can, and looking forward to recording all those episodes and having everybody join us and listen in. So make sure you subscribe, hit the like button for us. We'd really appreciate that.
Awesome. Yeah. And definitely, if you have any ideas, I'm seeing comments come in, drafting standards, stuff like that. Definitely submit those enhancement requests. That's the only way we can act on them. So please do so. I know you all do. So I appreciate that. Drafting standards are always a tough subject. So because everybody thinks there's the right one.
Yep. Oh, come on. Drafting standards are easy. Everybody has one of their own.
I know. That's why we should totally support everything. But yeah, it's you can definitely set a template that will try to match it as close as possible. If you find anything that you can't do, please let us know.
Yep. And thanks again to everybody that joined us live today. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you in 3 weeks.
All right. See you. Bye.